Hi, hello everyone. This is Soumya from Bookfeast channel. Today I'm going to review on the topic Ulysses, which was written by Alfred Tennyson. So before getting into today's video, we have posted the same opinions and same thoughts and same interpretations in Tamil language. If you are in need of that, you can refer the description. And also, if you are in need of short summary both in Tamil and English, please do refer the description. Let's get into today's video. Before that, please do like, share, comment and subscribe to get further more updates. And the poem is written by Alfred Tennyson. Who is Alfred Tennyson? I would like to give an intro about him. He was born on 6 August 1809 and he was passed away on 6 October 1892. He is a British poet. He was working as a poet laureate of the Great Britain and also in Ireland during the Queen Victoria's era, and is famous for writing dramatic monologue. And coming to the poem is also a dramatic monologue which carries about 70 lines of blank verse, and it deals about the adventures, experience, thoughts and mindset of the mythological character Ulysses. And when you see the division of the poem has been divided into three divisions. The first one seems to be the thirst for adventure. So, the thirst for adventure, Ulysses' thirst for adventure made him to go to various places instead of being a king. And second seems to be Ulysses prizing over his son Telemachus, who is very kind and polite to all. And third seems to be Ulysses' advice to his co-sailors that they should not waste time by making themselves sitting at a single place. And coming to dramatic monologue, I have told you the poem is an example for dramatic monologue. How come? So, what is dramatic monologue? Dramatize. When something is brought before your eyes in the image of picture, we say drama. That is dramatizing. So, dramatic is the same. And mono, which refers to single. And log, speech, conversation. Here, dramatic monologue together states that a poem in the form of speech or either a narrative which is imagined by a person, and it should be in the past. They never talk about future or the present. It will be in the past, and the speaker reveals each and aspects in the identical manner. He states that these are the things, that are the things, and the conversators will be the listeners. So a single person speaks about the past in a dramatizing manner is called dramatic monologue. Here, Ulysses, it talks about his experience, his life, his knowledge and his wisdom. So, it is a single person narrative and as well as the same time, it is dramatized. So, it is dramatic monologue. And coming to blank verse, what is blank verse? We could have seen about the rhyme schemes, A, B, A, C. So, here, the verse without rhyme is called blank verse. You could see in the poem, there is no any rhyming scheme. So, it is given verse without rhyme, blank verse. And before getting into the poem, we have to know little bit about Ulysses. So, who is this Ulysses? Ulysses is a king who rules ITHACA. And ITHACA is a small island which is located in Loniana. And Ulysses in Roman is termed as Ulysses, and in Greek mythology is termed as Odysseus. Penelope is his wife and Telemachus his son, and he is known as a war hero. Once he had participated in the war of Troy. You could have heard about the Troy, which was for 14 years in order to save Helen. So here he has taken 10 years of his life to be a participant of the war, and he fought with the god and goddess and he has won in that. So he is known as war hero, and he is the great legend in Greek mythology. As well as the same time, he is known for his quest for the adventures. He values adventures and discoveries more than anything else in the world. So I have given you a detailed intro before getting into the poem. Now let's see line by line poem. It little profits that an idle king by this still hearth among these barren cracks, matched with an aged wife, I meet and dole unequal loss onto a savage race. It is profit, little profit seems to be, it is of no use. An idle king used to sit in the same place. So when it is seen in the vision of Ulysses, Ulysses is a man of action who has many glorious deeds already done and has to do. And to him, sitting in a same place and being idle in the home is not the perfect thing. And ruling over a savage race is not of any work. He has to put in something which always makes him happy. That is adventure. And the word hearth. So hearth, it is like fireplace. Here it stands for the domestic life. Baron Cracks. So Baron Cracks talks about his island, which is Ithaca. So he says that his island is full of hard and sterile soil, and also matched with. So matched with is married to. So he is married to his aged wife, who is Penelope. When he was married, she was very young and she was having a small baby in her hand. At present, the small baby has grown up to where he becomes a ruler. He is none other than Telemachus. And Penelope, after 20 years, Penelope has become very old. So he went for a journey and also for many war defects, and this made him to reach after 20 years where he sees his wife and his children as grown-ups. And at the same time, when he comes back, he gets a news that many of the people thought, except Penelope, many thought that Ulysses was dead. So many suitors, they came forward in order to capture the kingdom. They wanted Penelope to marry them. So these suitors gave mental stress to Ulysses' wife. This made Ulysses put over the rules more stronger and punish those suitors. He names them as an unnamed matches. So they are unnamed person. They wanted any one of them to marry Penelope. But instead, Ulysses wanted to punish all of them for taking a mindset in such a way. And also he mentions that people usually they sleep and they eat. So this seems to be the ordinary man's life. But he cannot do the same. And coming to next line. That hoard and sleep and feed and know not me. I can't rest from travel. I'll drink life to the lees. All times I have enjoyed greatly, have suffered greatly, both with those. So he cannot eat, sleep and stay in an idle place, stays simply and lead a normal life. Instead he wants many adventure. Where he says that he cannot rest from travel. He wanted to drink his life up to the lees. So lees is the cap of a container. He compares his life as a cap. As a container, and even if it seems to be a container, he want to quench his thirst by drinking even the last drop. He never wanted to waste even the last chance that his life has given him. And towards all his journey, he states that it is not only because of victory, not only because of proudness, I am going on adventures. I have suffered greatly. I have both the sufferings and sorrows, and I was enjoyed at the same time. I was suffered a lot, but still I wanted to go for the adventure. I can't sit idle in my home. That loved me and alone on shore, and when through scadding drifts the rainy heights, vexed dim sea, I am become a name for always roaming with a hungry heart. So all his sufferings and enjoyments have been intense, but still he is longing to make it back again. Still he wanted to experience both the enjoyment and also he wanted to enjoy both the sorrow. And I have told you before about the War of Troy. It is titled as Trojan War, where he himself was left alone. So Ulysses, he saw many of his friends dead before his eyes and he had to fight alone. Again, after winning the war, when he was reaching his kingdom, he had many struggles. Like the ship was wrecked, and also many of his soldiers lost their life. And he was taken back to the adventure of Cyclops and next to Circe. So these many adventures prove that life is not something which is full of joy and pleasure. But life is a cup of everyone's coffee. Everyone has to be tasted. Everyone has to live a life. And they should not live it in sitting highly in a place. Even you sit in a place or you roam somewhere, automatically problems will put over you. So you have to upcome all the struggles. And not only this, he says that to add more insult to his injury, even the adventures, not only the adventures but also the nature had given him many struggle. Like when he sails in a ship, he comes across a climate change, the fast flowing of water. These everything gave him in the hope that Both whatever it is land or sea, he has to be very confident, and he was very bold enough to tackle everything. The broken clouds flying rapidly before the wind, but he never wanted to run away, or he never wanted to just have a look. Instead, he stand for it, he stood for it, and he stood against it at the same time. Heights refers to a group of stars, rising of which indicates rain and storm. So when he started his journey, he could sense that, so there is a heavy rain. But usually what people used to do, they used to take off the place and they used to move. They used to cancel the journey. But he went in. He wanted to experience what, whether and how. So what is, if rain comes, what would happen? And how come heights can do it? Is it possible? Is it true? He wanted to experience everything, and he was greatly agitated by the dim sea. But whatever it may be, it gave him the name. I become a name. He says that I have become a name. People started talking about me. People started referring me. So I got a name in each and every struggle. Though it is a problem, though it is a suffering, though it is sorrow for me, I got a name. I have my own name to the adventures that I have went. And also Ulysses says that he has been very active and fearless on the land, as well as the same on the sea, where he had not stricken for facing any danger even when the clouds flew over him. And he wanted to enjoy, but at the same time he became a name. But still his heart is very hungry. So his heart longs not only for love, caring. Usually we compare heart with contrast it with love and caring. But here he says that his hungry heart is very much eager to get knowledge and experience. So everything, what are the things he needed necessary for his life, seems to be only the knowledge and experience through adventures. Coming to the next lines. Much have I seen and known, cities of men, and manners, climates, councils, governments, myself not least, but honoured of them all, and drunk delight of battle with my peers. So in these lines he says that he has gained a good deal of knowledge of men, cities, climates, even about the government, councils and ministers. And also wherever he has gone, he was given respect. People honoured him, people seen him as an heroic figure. So this is only because of his exploration to the different places. If he had been idle in the home, no one would have been known about Ulysses. So that's the reason again and again he states, I was a king, but also still I am a king. But I don't want only that position alone. The king would always be a proud person among his people. But whenever I go for an adventure, whenever I have new experience, new knowledge, whole world talk about me as an hero. I want that pleasure. I want to enjoy that essence of my life. So he had many adventures. Among them all, not only the adventures, he also fought bravely with many of his peer groups. Which is, he says that the people who had fought with him were not very mentally strong or physically strong. They were his peers. They were equalizing him. They were equal to him. Far on the ringing plains of windy Troy, I am a part of all that I have. Yet all experience is an arch, where through gleams that untravelled world whose margin fades. So windy Troy he refers to Trojan War. All the empty fields were resounding. So the resound seems to be the sound of the battle. The battle, what is the name of the battle, seems to be Trojan War. That too he says, windy Troy, I am a part of all that I have met. So what are the things I have met? I am being a part of it. Whenever people speak about it, I will be an icon there. So I want that to be enrolled in my life. And you wanted to enjoy all the experience, glimpse that untravelled world. Here untravelled world refers to the unseen and unknown places. The knowledge, domain knowledge about unseen and unknown places, where he wanted even to see the margins to be faded. So when do things fade? Usually when it is exposed, often it fades. So he wants to travel up to the end of the earth. That's, he says that margin fades. And also the journey should not be very little. He says forever and ever when I move. So when I move, it has to be forever and ever. How dull it is to pause, to make an end, to trust, to rust unburnished, not to shine and use, as through to breathe where life is piled on life. So he comes up with the question, how dull it is to pause. So I have told you about all the experience that I have experienced. And how come you sit idle in a pace? If you ask me to pause everything, how it would be a good ending? So how to make an ending then? Then if I make an ending also, how it will be good? It will be very dull. And here he comes up with the metaphor sword. When a sword is not being used, automatically it gets rusted. Likewise, if a human is kept in a single place, if he stays in a idly, automatically he will be rusted like a sword. That too he says that he is never comparing the man with the sword. Instead, he compares the man with the rust. And also he says that that's not only rust, but also the shyness of the sword will be taken away. So you are staying in one place. It may create a comfort zone, but it is like the rust which takes you from a good world to the bad one. Likewise, which takes you to which takes the shine in you. So automatically a regular talent and energy of a man gets blunted. So we want to make a regular exercise. We have to work hard daily by exploring certain things. Life piled on life. He says that the breath of his life seems to be the knowledge gained through his adventures, the wisdom which is gained through his adventures. And many lives have taken together. And also, when he had participated in the war of Troy, many of his friends lost their life. So life piled on life. The dead bodies of human beings were heaped. They were not in a form of counting. Instead, they were in a heap form. So he mentions the word eternal silence, which is everlasting, the silence of the grave, the sleep from which there is no waking. It is everlasting. They cannot come and wake up again. So life is once. We have to make it up to the least. We have to take even the last drop. Next, we'll go to the next lines. Were all too little and of one to me. Little remains, but ever hair is saved. From that eternal silence, something more, a bringer of new things and a wild were. So he says that, so life has gone. Life is not a standard one, and since many of the lives have been piled up in front of me, I wanted to experience each and everything, and also it is not about enough of his energy and enterprises. Life is short and it has many energy and many enterprises. So we have to be a part of it. I am being one of the person in it. By doing so, we have passed many years. Now, little remains. We have only certain period of time. So, we have to enjoy it. But every hair is ever saved. So, we have to use it. We should not mislead it. And also, he says that we have to make sure whether each and every moment of our life being spent is profitable. And it should bring us new knowledge and experience. It should not be very dull. It should be in a mean manner. And next lines. For some 3 suns to store and hoard myself, and this grey spirit yearning in desire, to follow knowledge like a sinking star beyond the utmost bound of human thought. So here some 3 years refers to, 3 suns refers to 3 years. Ulysses feels that he has only 3 years to live. And here, grey, the word grey spirit talks about Ulysses. So grey, when he gets old, he states metaphorically that at present he is very old. So grey spirit, so he is very old and he is yawning in desire. Still he had many desires to explore. He has only 3 years. In these 3 years, he never wanted to keep himself away from the work and action. Instead, he says that the mind of an old man like Ulysses, it is only the body becomes old, not your spirit. So we can gain something. We have to long. We have to long for the adventure. My heart always longs for the adventure. And sinking star, he compares the knowledge with the star and that has sunk beneath the horizon. Just as men follow into another heaven, star has its own form. Likewise, Ulysses is very old, but his desires to gain new experience, such as no human can do it, he wanted it to attain. Even though no one can do, he wanted to explore it. He wanted to have that experience. Coming to the next last line, beyond the utmost, this slide's last line, beyond the utmost bound of human thought. So he wanted to go beyond the thought of the human, usual normal human. And we'll go for the next slide. This is my son, mine own Telemachus, to whom I leave the sceptre and the easel. Well loud of me, discerning to the fulfill this labor by slow prudence to make mild. So I have told you that the poem has been divided into three. The first talks about his experience and why come he is not a ruler. And this stanza seems to be a stanza filled with lots and lots of love and caring, because it talks about his son Telemachus. Now we are at the second division, that is, it talks about Telemachus and his ruling capacity. This is my son, mine own Telemachus. So this is my son. He is my son Telemachus. He is very loved towards the people and the mother. He knows how to respect the gods. He knows how to value the ancestors, how to treat the people, and how to be loved by them. He knows how to fulfill. So he gives up all the good qualities of his son, where he proves that he is the father. How come a father talk about a child? Likewise, Ulysses, it talks about his Telemachus. He is very mild and he is very caring. So let him rule the place. Next slide. Rugged people, and through soft degrees subdue them to the useful and the good. Most blameless is he, centered in the sphere of common duties, designed not to fail. So he can handle the people, he can even handle the rugged people in a soft manner, where is very useful and is very good. And no one could ever blame that he is fault in this or that. Telemachus is a youth of spotless character and is always originated in the ancestral family of Ulysses. So he says that he is very bold enough like me, and at the same time he can treat the ordinary people. He knows the lifestyle of the ordinary people, their duties to be performed. And having good sense and priority, let him be the ruler, because he is very kind, is loving his mother more, and he knows the dainties of my family, the god, and he also talks about his ancestors in a worshipping, and he worships them for years. So this is enough to be a person. So here he addresses the setting of the poem. Ulysses is standing in the port. So here it talks about Telemachus. We are at the third division, where Telemachus, it talks about the adventures to his co-sailors. These upcoming lines seems to be the setting for the whole poem. In offices of tenderness and pay meet adoration to my household gods. When I am gone, he works his work and I mine. There lies the port, the vessel puffs her sail. I have told you already, he is very tender, he is very young, and he can make his household gods, he can adore them, and he says that, so he has each and every quality, let him do his work, I mine. So what's the work of the Telemachus is to rule ITHACA, and what's the work of the Ulysses is to go for the adventure. There gloom the dark broad seas, my mariners, soul that I have toiled and wrought and thought with me, that ever with a frolic welcome took the thunder and the sunshine and opposed. So here the word gloom, it is used as a verb. The sea stretches out endlessly before him, and now it's very dark. So it speaks to his co-mariners. He says to the sailors of Ulysses have perished in the sea. But the original account of the poem is that everything is independent of time and place. How come we can calculate the place and time by our jobs? So it is apart from it. So he mentions toil, work, hardworking, wrought, hardworking, and thought with me. I have that thought that we will be merry one day. We will be cheerily greeted. We will be happy. Even the thunder and sunshine may be opposing us. But why should we care? We can go against them. They are just nature, so they will not make any harm to us. Free hearts, free foreheads. You and I are old. Old age hath yet his honour and his toil. Death closes all, but something ere the end. Some work of noble note may yet be done. So he says that free heart and free foreheads, which stresses that he has become old. Someone has become old. Again he says, you and I. Here, you refers to the Marinus and I refers to Ulysses. So, you and I are old. Old age hath yet his honour and his toil. So, the old age, he never feels sorry that he has become old. Instead, he says that he is very much honoured. And this old age is the proof of his hard work. Death closes all. So, one day, automatically, there will be a death. But something at the end. But we should be making something at the end. We should not live idle. Even death can put an ending to everything. But some great and noble deeds has to be done. Still I have to do for it. So I am not suited for death. Still I am performing. Death will not reach me. So let's work hard. Let's struggle hard against it. He also comes up with the living example. Not unbecoming men that strove with gods. The lights begin to twinkle from the rocks. The long day wanes, the slow moon climbs the deep. Moans round with many voices, come my friends. So not becoming men that strove with gods. So I am not only fighting with the men. Instead I fought with the god and goddess. Here he talks about the Trojan War. He fought against a god and goddess in the Trojan War, and both god and goddess were both on his either side. And he wanted to be the winner, and at the towards the ending, he was the winner. To see this war, the people from various houses they scattered all over like a little lamps. So they had a lamp in their hand, and they was sincerely walking towards the war. So this gave me proudness. If I had been idle in the home, I would have been old. I have been seeing many adventures. At present, I am old. So there is no comparison. Everything is equally balanced. But now I have a name. So this is what life is. Here, the poet Tennyson is sensitive to the sound of the nature. It seems to be the evidence in these para. And not only people were seeing fight, but also moans down with many voices. So there was also death. Many of my friends have lost. But I am standing here because of the spirit, not because of the time or place or my age. So come my friends. This is not too late to seek a newer world. Push off and sitting well in order smite. The sounding furrows from for my purpose holds to sail beyond the sunset and beds. He says that though we are old, it is not too late. It is late. But it is not too late to start a voyage. Let's discover a new world. Let's push the ship from the shore and launch it on the sea. Let's go for an adventure. Let's sit properly in the position of the ship. So this may take us to somewhere. That somewhere would be a great place for adventure. Here, the lines like furrows created by the moment of the ship seems to be the great idol where he's going behind. He's not going behind. He's moving forward. And he wanted to go further in the west. So he states, beyond the sunset. So the sun sets way in the west. So he wanted to go beyond the sunset. It is metaphorically said that when you go for Greek mythology, Odysseus is nothing but Ulysses in Greek mythology. Odysseus, it was written by Homer. He says that the sun in the evening sinks under the sea at the western limit of the ocean. So here the Ulysses takes up the line. He says that earth is flat. They believed earth was flat, and the place where sea submerges the sun seems to be the sunset place. He wanted to go beyond it. Also he was dead, he gives an example. What that example is? A person who has gone beyond the sunset. Do you guess Ozzy? Yeah, let's see. Of all the western stars until I die, it may be that the gulf will wash us down. It may be we shall touch the happy easels and see the great Achilles whom we know. So of all the western stars, so why he mentions western star is that he is moving towards the west. So until I die. So until I die, I'll be going beyond the sunset. I'll be trying to go beyond the sunset. Maybe the gulf will wash us down. But also, we shall touch the happy hills. If we are if we were dead also, we can do it. As like Achilles. So Achilles is a great figure who's mentioned in the Greek mythology. He is one of the Greek hero of the Trojan War. So he had been dead and he had been blessed to go to a boat. Here he says that we can be like Achilles, whom we know. We had known him. We have came across him. So we can die according to him, like him. So here happy hills refers to the perfect land of dreams. Though much is taken, much bites and through, we are not now that strength which in olden days moved on earth and heaven, that which we are. One equal temper of heroic hearts, made weak by time and fate, but strong in will, to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. He says, though we have lost so much of our bodily strength because we were old, it not only defines that we are weak. Only our body is old. Only our body has lost this strength. So losing losing this strength and being weak is different. We still have many qualities of our youthful days. Why should we think about the thing that is lost? We can think about the qualities still that lurks in us from our childhood to the present, and let us become a stronger man. We have to perform many heroic deeds. So the expression is taken in a literary form. He says in the Trojan War, the god and goddess actively took part in the either side. Ulysses says proudly that he and his friends fought not only with the great heroes of the earth but also with the gods. If we are capable of winning over the gods, why can't we win over an adventure? And there is no doubt that both he and his sailors have grown weaker in body, but they are spiritually strength. Though they are weak in body, their body is spiritually getting a strength. So still it remains in us. We have all the same quality of strength and courage. So let's be a band of heroic men held together by common purpose. We were alone, and at that time we were thinking about our journey and our life. Now let us join hands and let us be a band of heroic men who together go for a common purpose. So we should be strong in will. We should have strength in mind. And the final line gives the detailed conclusion to the poem. To strive, to struggle. So what for we have to struggle? To fight against the odds. To seek. After fighting against all the odds, the issues, we have to seek new knowledge and experience. And we should not stop up to that. We have to find. What we have to find is to discover knowledge and not to yield. So we are struggling and getting an art. We are struggling for the arts and we are coming up over it. And we are seeking for the new knowledge and experience. And we are discovering a new knowledge. And we should not submit it to the difficulties and obstacles that we come in our way. So our way may have many difficulties and obstacles. We have to come over it. We should not yield all our hard work, our strive, our seeking, our fineness to the struggle. So here I conclude my poem. I also repeat you that we have posted this particular poem in Tamil and also a short summary both in Tamil has been posted. The link you can refer the description. Please do have a look. And if you are in need of any novels, short stories or anything, please mention it in the comment section. Surely we'll make it for you. Please do like, share, comment and subscribe. Thank you.